Hello, all, and thank you for joining us today at our podcast here, sponsored by Always Approved Autos. Today's our first episode, and we're already a bunch of fucking sellouts. Whoop whoop! I got Mr. Taj here joining me today. We're going to be talking about many different things, and one of the things we're actually going to be talking about today is some unique experiences we've had in the car dealership from customers. So please, if you are one of these experiences that we've had, we mean you no harm in any way, shape, or form, and no brain cells were actually harmed or damaged during the conversations we've had.
At least none of yours.
Customers. Yeah. Well, mine were actually cut off a little bit because it's a very nice. How do you say it? They were special. We'll go with that. Let's say they're very special individuals.
Yeah. Special.
With two big old air quotes.
So one of those experiences we've actually had in here was a few months ago, and it was around 9:30 a.m. on a Thursday. Me and Jason were sitting in the back talking about his list of inventory and stuff that he was looking to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
The door suddenly opens up. We get a younger lady. I would say she was around 20 years old. She walked in here. And she was looking at cars, so I had a conversation with her. She asked me a bunch of normal questions like, how does this car run? What's like the stuff for financing and everything else. So after asking her a few questions and talking to her and answering all her questions, young lady left. So I went back to having my conversation with Jason, like normal. And then she suddenly comes back in through the front door. And she's like, hey, I have a very important question. So of course, me being extremely helpful and a very great representative of customer service.
You almost kept a straight face.
Yeah. Was like, okay, so how can I help you? And she said, if I pay you cash for this vehicle, do I need a cosigner? Again, she asked me, if I pay you cash for this vehicle, would I need a cosigner? Let that sit for a moment.
What was the explanation that you gave?
The only reasonable explanation that I could give is, if you pay me cash for the car, I don't care what you do to it. You want to put a cosigner on there, I got no problem with it. Do you want to put grandpa, grandma, your brother, your sister?
Co-signing. There's no financing.
No, but I guess, maybe she needed the consignment of God himself. So, yeah, that was one of those special moments that actually took me at least a few minutes to respond back to her because I needed to process this and figure out what would be the right answer without being sarcastic. We'll go with that.
And the Oscar goes to... Okay, serious question.
Yes.
If you could have a list of 3 things that every potential customer came in already with, packaged, ready to go, what would those 2 things be?
Driver license, of course, because you gotta be able to drive the car out of the dealership. A proof of income, and then your down payment. And the accurate down payment you're actually working with is what I'm asking for. Please don't tell us, you're working with $1,500 and then you come back to us after we get you approved to tell us, okay, I'm working with $1,000 or $500, or you had us work a deal and at the end of it you're like, oops, I don't have the down payment, I'm just window shopping. That is one of our biggest pet peeves, due to the fact that it costs us money and it takes us time and effort to get an approval done, especially on not so great of a credit score.
Yeah, I've seen the struggle.
Because we have to communicate, with lenders and everybody else like that, we have to talk to the people and take you and paint you in a very nice picture to the people who are willing to give you the money to make a deal happen. Because at the end of the day, somebody else is, especially in a financing deal, somebody else is paying the money, and you're just paying it back to that somebody else. So what we need is your honesty to us as much as possible, so we can make sure we get you the best possible deal that we can. Because at the end of it, if these guys are not willing to give you, these are strangers, if they're not willing to give you the money, then I'm gonna tell you, you gotta go to mama and you gotta tell her, I need some money to buy a car.
Who loves you?
Yep. Let's hope she actually loves you. Or Nana. Grandmas usually would actually do it. Mamas would tell you to go and...
Fly a kite.
Yes, fly kite. Let's go with that. That's actually a better terminology.
Let me taper him off a little bit.
Now, another story that actually happened. These stories are real. You can't make this stuff up. And these are actually real people, like legit people who are actually functioning adults in society that are multiplying and having kids. So we got this young man that submitted an application for credit in order to purchase a vehicle. And of course, one of our stipulations and processes is we get your credit application, we contact you, and we ask you to verify all the information you provided us so we can make sure we have the most accurate information to provide to our lenders. He did not tell us that, he put on the application that he gets paid paycheck stubs. So when we called him and asked him for paycheck stubs, he said he did not have them. So now we had to figure out if he has a different way. So we asked him if he had his bank statements. He said he didn't have them. So we're like, okay, well, here's the issue, buddy. In order for us to be able to put a deal together, we need to be able to verify that you make consistent income. So he came back to me. He's like, hey, I got a fantastic idea. Mind you, this guy is like, this idea was like level geniuses kind of idea. It's like, what if I have somebody hand me the cash to my hand and I send you a picture of it, me being handed the cash? Would that work as a proof of income to show that somebody paid me? So I was like, you know what? It definitely would not work because there is no paper trail to it other than, somebody handing you cash. So I am sorry we could not assist you, sir. You have yourself a wonderful day.
We out here. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You should be getting paper.
Yeah, I know. I saw him getting paper, homie. He got that paper. Somebody handed it to him.
They really tried to pass that off as a proof of income.
They 100% tried to pass that off as a proof of income.
Yeah, we really need to make sure that people understand that this is being sent to a bank.
Mm-hmm.
Not your uncle.
No, not to your uncle, not to your nana, not to your baby mama, not to your kids. It's been sent to a financial institution that is willing to give you a loan for a vehicle so you can actually drive.
Right.
And is willing to wait years for you to pay them back. So, that's not the craziest story though. No, I got one more for you.
Yeah.
This one happened a couple of years ago. We got this young lady coming in with her friend, submits an application. We're in the process of collecting stipulation, everything else like that. So she gave us her, tells us she works at Publix. So we're like, okay, cool. So she gives us her paycheck stubs. We take the paycheck stubs, we show them to the bank. The bank is like, okay, these paycheck stubs look a little bit funny. We can't use them. So we said, okay, let's see if it shows on the paycheck stubs that she gets direct deposit. So let's see if we can maybe ask for bank statements in order to validate that she's being paid direct deposit. Go back to the customer, start asking her, hey, if she could provide us 3 months of bank statements, which a customer does. Provide them to us. However, the bank statements show she makes less money than what she said, and there's nowhere on the bank statements that shows direct deposits from Publix. So after getting the bank statements, we did not see the direct deposits from Publix on the statements themselves. So we start questioning it, and after questioning it for a minute with the customer, basically we get the customer to admit that she does not work for the company and what we were provided were fake pay stubs. Now, mind you, this is something that we actually go through on an extremely daily basis, so there's nothing special or outrageous about this story yet. The best part is still about to come. After the shabazzle, I would call it, the customer leaves, and she had her friend with her. And 3 minutes after they left, the friend comes back with a bag, a duffel bag, opens up the door to the dealership, screams at the top of her lungs, if my friend did not work at Publix, would she not have this bag? Okay, you can clearly see as bright as day that the bag has Publix on it.
I've got branded merch. What more evidence do you need?
Exactly that. So, and she left. People, I beg you, please. We try to help you as a car dealership. Help us help you. Don't make our life complicated, because our lives aren't complicated the way it is. We have to deal with hundreds of customers daily. It's tiring that we have to be lied to every single deal. Just tell us the truth. Let us work together to figure out how we can help you. Other than that, I wish you guys all the best and a life filled with happiness. Far away from us if you decide to lie to us. Again, this podcast is sponsored by Always Approved Autos because we're sellouts. And hopefully in the future we'll be, sponsored by somebody else. So we can be sellout to them too.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario, exactly. Maybe Monster, because we like Monster. We do drink it a lot.
So. We doesn't include me.
Yeah, he drinks something else, but that's
a
different story.
This menace.
Yeah, like Kool-Aid. He loves Kool-Aid.
So, everyone make sure you don't forget, if you snooze, you lose. If you got the blues, come on down to Always Approve. We'll catch you next time.